Good morning! I do not have a sales tip for you. I have a question. Do you love what you do? I recently had an epiphany. I said, salespeople are terrible at New Year's resolutions. So I created a free webinar, which I gave the other day, and it's about I called it 23 questions to ask before you make your 2023 New Year's resolutions as a salesperson. I know, long title, right? And the very first thing that came to me when this idea popped into my head was, do you love your job? This 2022 was my 40th anniversary in sales, and I am so grateful to be in sales. I love being in sales. It's so much fun. And excuse me, recently I started writing down a lot of the crazy things that have happened to me over the years, starting with my office being in a closet, an unheated closet in a small apartment in Worcester, Massachusetts when I was 21 years old, and going through that first winter trying to sell so that we could get out of that one bedroom apartment and get my office out of the closet. And along the way, I've had some great experiences listening to a sales rep next to me, Dan Owens, get somebody on the phone by posing as a landscaper and telling the secretary, would you please ask Mr. Wilson if he wants the manure dumped in the front yard or the back? And having the contact, that impossible contact, come to the phone and say, hello. And that's how Dan got the appointment. Or being in California with my old friend Greg Hanna, and he's a cowboy, he's a real live cowboy, and they had a bull loose. And they're on horseback, and we're in pickup trucks trying to get this horse back in the corral. And I'm outside the car, waving a towel or something and having my wife yell, you're a print salesman, get back in the car. And then learning valuable lessons along the way, things that you just wouldn't figure out on your own, like never sit down in a lobby because you're 6'6", Bill, and you're going to scare the hell out of people when you stand up. So always give people a chance to adjust to your height. And then when I started traveling, when I started giving speeches, I learned how to get a sporting ticket to any event in any city. I figured out that if you dress appropriately, like business casual, if you dress well, and you stand outside that event before it starts, someone who has an extra ticket is going to walk over to you and say, you want to go to this game? I have an extra ticket. Here you go. Because the thing is, that seat is going to be right next to them. And they don't want just anybody sitting next to them. So if you look like a decent human being, you're going to go to a lot of free sporting events. And it works. Or how about being invited to watch Monday Night Football with a Jets fan? Now, I'm from New England. I'm a Patriots guy. And I walked into this hotel once, and there was this guy in a Jets uniform. And we got talking. We were just teasing. It was Monday Night Football. And he said to me, hey, my mom and dad are going to come to the hotel tonight, and they're going to bring some chicken wings and beer. Why don't you come down and watch the game with us in the lobby? That was crazy. We had the best time. It was wonderful. You couldn't have planned something like that. Or how about the guy, and this is the best excuse if you're going to be late. I was flown into Las Vegas by Heidelberg. My old friend Eric Frank sent me in to save a press. So I was supposed to meet with the sales rep. And my flight is going to leave, and I'm just looking at my clock, and this guy is late. He's 30 minutes late. He's 60 minutes late. 90 minutes later, this guy walks in the door, and he looks like roadkill. He delivered the best line for being late. And to this day, I have no idea if he was being serious. He said, look, Bill, I'm really sorry for being late. I'm selling my house, and I had to dig something up out of the backyard. Moving on. Probably the most important work that I ever did in 40 years was to train families to testify in front of the FDA for a drug approval that would save the lives of their sons. And it was extraordinary. I didn't expect it to be as powerful as it was. And I was so grateful for the opportunity. It was so humbling. And I got back home after that trip down to Washington, D.C., and I cried. It was, God, it was amazing. But as I look back, I thought, and the drug got passed, by the way. I look back and I thought, boy, there's being in the right place at the right time. So I'm really grateful for a 40-year career in sales. And if you're just starting out in sales, man, you really have made a great choice because you can make the amount of money that you want to make and not be reliant on somebody else saying to you, great job, here's 5%. You can double your income. And you can have lifelong relationships with a lot of you who are watching this non-tip right away. Do you love what you do? If you don't, quit and go find something else that you love to do. Sales is hard. This is going to be a difficult journey for you, but it's the hard that makes it great. If it was easy, everybody would do it. So in 40 years, I've gone from an office in an unheated closet to palatial offices in the basement of a house. Not exactly moving up, but I wouldn't change a day of it. I hope you have a wonderful week, whether you are selling or relaxing. Let's work together in 2023 for better things ahead. Peace, love, and honor to you and your family. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. I'll talk to you next week.